This program brought to you by the Arts and Communications Academy at Lansdowne High School. It's the Lansdowne Show.
We're back for more of the Lansdowne Show with Season 2's second episode. I'm your host, Jordan Santiago, and we have a great show for you today. This month we have some returning segments from our resident joker, Jimmy, and more random facts from Instagram, as well as the long-awaited return of Captain Maryland and an update from Viking Overseas, Anassa Holt. Also in this episode we'll take a look at what's happening with JROTC, trigonometry, foods and nutrition, carpentry, and physics with Mr. Gish. New this November, we have a short film from the Televideo 1 class, as well as a segment called Pop Topics with Jasmine, and some other fun shorts for you to enjoy. So get ready to laugh and learn about Lansdowne High School Academy and more, right here on the Lansdowne Show.
See what's happening in nutrition and foods.
And we had to make some country fried potatoes. We had to break in groups, and each person had to have a job, either cutting, stirring, seasoning, or frying. Yeah.
It was paprika, salt, and shortening. 1 cup of shortening and oil. That was it. Can you cook that?
The biggest different variations.
Ketchup and all that stuff, so that was pretty good. Class is fun though.
Tell me the name of this class.
It's nutrition and food, and we basically just cook food, and then we learn how to make it, like the demos, how to cut, how to knife and all that stuff, how to cut, how to cook on the stove and everything. It's a fun class.
Center table. Well, today the objective was for the students to practice proper knife safety, and so we learned the claw method, how to hold on to whatever it is that you're cutting, so that your knuckles will actually be a shield and you won't cut your fingertips. And you learn the pinch, how to pinch the knife tightly, and how to cut cubes. So they sliced and they diced today, and everybody did a phenomenal job.
You know I'll never be caught sleeping in class. Now let's meet the director and learn a little bit about blocking used by the LHS actors in current LHS production of A Dark and Stormy Night, which premieres November 21st in the LHS Theater.
I chose to be the director because I've been in all 3 of the other plays, and I wanted to do something different. Because, like, you get to tell people what to do.
Blocking is the movement you do on stage to the center, and if you say go up stage, you move down. If you move stage left, go over here, and you could go back to the center.
Why do we do blocking in theater?
So it's not boring on stage, so people aren't just like standing around talking.
What is smarter than a talking bird? A spelling bee.
That's Jimmy. He's such a card. Still ahead on the Lansdowne Show. Stay tuned for an update from Okinawa and more from the Viking. But right now, let's take a look at what the physics class is learning with Sensei Gish.
So, can you tell me why is there black spots and clear spots on here? Jake, why is it like that? Good, so the light, there's that beam of light going. When we drop it through, the black spots will block it. The clear spots it can go through. So basically, this is going to take 4 data points for you. It's going to tell you essentially how fast is it traveling at each spot.
Why are you doing this?
We're learning about acceleration and how it is constant and how mass affects acceleration.
And what class are you learning this in?
Physics.
We're measuring the velocity versus time graph when you see how fast these go by through this scanner by its infrared laser. By starting here and dropping it, this will be the first point. It'll go slower and slower as you drop it. It'll speed up, and each point it'll get faster and faster.
Why? Because they start like making...
I've got my 1 card. Do you? Still ahead on the Lansdowne show, a short film by Televideo 1 students and some excerpts of performances at Lansdowne's first cabaret night. But right now, let's see what's happening in physical education and check in with Anasa Holt, our LHS Viking, on the semester abroad in Okinawa, Japan.
This is physical education class here at Lansdowne High School, and this is the state required fitness foundations class. We are performing our pre-test for the fitnessgram, which is the standardized test we use to determine the level of fitness that the students are currently at, and then hopefully their development and improvement of that fitness over the year. We will test again at the end of the school year. Thank you.
My name is Anasa Holt, and this is NASA TV. I've been giving you all these videos about how my trip has been going so far, but none on how I got here. So today, that is what I'll be talking to you about. It all started 2 years ago when I hosted an exchange student for a full year. And this exchange student was from Japan, Okinawa, where I am now. When her stay was through, I communicated with her and her family through Facebook and asked them if it would be okay if I spent my summer vacation with them. So last year, I spent the summer with them, 2 weeks in their school system and 1 week just relaxing with them. Now, it was a bit costly for the summer vacation trip, but fortunately for me, I love origami and I'm pretty good at it. So I did an origami fundraiser at my school, and thank you so much again to the students and faculty who helped me raise more than $700. My full time in Okinawa was 3 weeks, and then afterwards my mom came down and she visited us in Okinawa. We had a little family reunion. In Okinawa, my mom had a connection with a friend who she worked with. Her son lived in Okinawa as a middle school teacher, so I got to meet him and all his students. While there, he introduced me to an English teacher at the high school. So we connected, and when I went back to America, I was hungry for more. So I asked him if it would be okay if I spent the fall semester in Okinawa. And he told me it was possible. So we emailed back and forth the entire year. He sent me forms, I printed them out, I got them done, and I sent them right back to him until eventually I got the form for my visa. Once I filled that out and took it to the American Embassy in Washington, D.C., I got my visa. This last week, the school hosted 8 Australian students. It was fantastic, and I do have footage with them and with the events that we did with them. That didn't make sense. Ah! School is busy. I get home on an average Monday through Saturday, maybe 7 o'clock. 8 o'clock, especially if I have ASA practice. So it's pretty busy, and as soon as I get home, I have like an hour or so to get the study on, and then I'm into bed, because if I don't get my sleep, I'm a crouchy tiger. Alrighty, so yeah. What was I gonna say, guys? We went to the Chirikura. Chirikura. Wow. We went to this middle school track and field event, and Mr. Harry told me it was gonna be like crazy, people going wow, blah blah blah. And in my mind, I was like, okay, this island is only so big. What are you talking about? No, come on. But he was actually 110% correct, and then some change. It was amazing. Okinawa is pretty small, and from what I've seen, the tracks and the athletic areas are just like dirt and grass and whatnot. But this was an actual track and field stadium. There were tons of people, the energy was crazy. Every time we had someone from our school who ran, we all had to get up and cheer. So that was fun. So that's life right now. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned. I try to post as often as I can. And yeah, stay tuned.
To go back when I first saw you, I said, oh my, that's a dream, I needed a dream to make me strong. You are the only reason I had to go on. You were my dream, all the things that I never knew.
This is one unhappy diva, the producers have to see her. There is nothing I can sing from my heart. Whatever happened to my heart?
Goodbye, my Coney Island baby. Farewell, my own true love, true love. I'm gonna go away and leave you, never to see you any, never gonna see you any. I'm gonna sail upon that ferry boat, never to return again.
There's truly no shortage of talent at LHS, as you can see in these next two segments with some of Lansdowne's favorite characters, Captain Maryland and Instagram.
Hey, this is Captain Maryland, and there's some really great things to do around Maryland, even in the fall. You can go hiking or go on a bike ride around the BWI trail that entirely surrounds the BWI airport. A great bike ride, fairly flat, 12.5 miles of fall foliage. If biking isn't your game, some other outdoor activities include taking a trip to Gunpowder Falls State Park. It has a museum, trails, and you can learn a lot about Maryland's history of railroads. Lastly, you can come check out the Catonsville Tire Park. It has a playground made completely out of recycled tires, areas for camping, and even some hiking trails. This is Captain Maryland. Get out and see your state. See you next month.
This is called Brando. And today I believe facts, counting random facts over and over again is not fit to being a Brandon, which is usually inconsistent and unpredictable. So for this sake, for a brief Brandon, myself, do all kinds of statements. Unfortunately, like these are right now, just fit right now. Has a son who used first name, which is very cool. Today came from a first name promotion in 1962. Kid Rose to get named as the main person of the Heisman. John Kennedy wasn't happy at the first situation. Clinton Dogs named Bill merely said, who said, "Why do you have something to do when he gave Caroline Kennedy the doctors? Why, what's your public as a gift?" And the second day, cranberries are ripe, they bounce around the ball. Cranberries go grow all over the house. Now, I'm not going to let you guys do that.
Starting from this one going up. These pieces are going to go underneath, like down here.
Down at the bottom?
Yeah. So when you paste it, this part is going to go on top. This part here, 7 pi over 6, your sign value is
negative.
So that's why it goes under.
So this part is still blank. Nothing's there?
Right, because this would be a negative radian measure, and you don't have any negative radian measures.
Okay.
We'll talk about in class what that's going to look like, but for this, you just want to
So
get a
this first
picture
one
of the
pi,
positive.
7 pi over 6 will go right here, and then it'll go like that.
Those will go under, but they'll go further down here. You still want to go in order. So
Oh,
that
go
your
in
picture, yeah, so your picture should go in the same order as your circle.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So we're doing the unit circle and with the sine curve. And the unit circle is basically a circle with different radians and degrees and how it works. And then we're using the sine of it and we're creating a curve.
This is so much fun. I love trigonometry.
Don't shave. Don't do it. Don't shave! No!
It's No Shave November. Don't shave.
So what I do for my beard normally is I wake up in the mornings and I massage it for like a good 30 minutes, and then he starts talking to me and I talk back to him. We have a really good conversation for another 30 minutes. So I have to wake up at like 5 so that I can just get my beard ready for the day.
I decline shaving.
Instead of just No Shave November, I believe in No Shave since 1989.
Don't shave!
And I'm using kids that are experts in those areas
Like in this group here, they're doing the cadet creed, and I got 2 kids over there doing the ranks, and these kids up here doing position of attention. So I use the kids that already have passed the cadet creed to help the other kids that needs to pass. So it's what we call using the peers to help them out.
Teaching her the positions of attention and left face, right face.
It teaches you good stuff in this classroom. How to wear a uniform, how to put your ranks in the right spots, and how to wear their shoes properly when they're in the uniform so you don't mess up the uniform or nothing, and how to fold them and everything.
Lansdowne High School JRTC program.
Hey, my name is Jasmine and this is Pop Talk. American Horror Story was amazing. If you don't like spoilers, turn away or just mute it and watch my hilarious facial expressions. Now, if you've been following the show, you know that his new season is about a traveling freak show in the 1950s, and it takes place in Jupiter, Florida. You have all your favorite characters such as Jessica Lange, Evan Peters, and of course Sarah Paulson. Sarah plays a 2-headed girl, Evan has lobster hands, and Jessica is an ambitious German woman with a dream that she cannot achieve unless her show gets their crap together. There are also new characters such as Ethel Darling, played by the wonderful Kathy Bates, Gloria Mott, played by Frances Conroy, and my favorite, Twisty the Clown. Now, if you haven't watched the new season and you have a phobia of clowns, just stay away from season 4 because Twisty the Clown is the scariest clown you have ever seen. Never mind the killer clowns from outer space, and forget Pennywise the Clown. Twisty the Clown is the clown to defeat all the clowns. Not because he's a homicidal maniac and with half-attached mask on, but because when you see him, you cannot turn away. The whole episode is action-packed and will leave you wanting more once it ends. Moving on to the Vampire Diaries. If you do not remember what happened last season, here's the recap. Stefan is dead and is stuck on the other side, and the only way to save him is to get through the other side, and the only way to travel to the other side is by death. The gang decides to blow up the grill, which also has a bunch of travelers, who are people that are planning on putting a spell on the town of Mystic Falls that bans all kinds of supernatural creatures and magic from entering. They decide to kill the travelers through an explosion that is triggered by Damon and Elena driving the car into the grill, which causes them to die and go to the other side. But when Bonnie tries to go to the other side and save everyone and pull them over to the real world, she and Damon get stuck on the other side, causing them to die, leaving emotional Elena a wreck as she is 90% of the season. So now, you can enjoy watching your emotional, overdramatic supernatural beings. Finally, The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead was an anticipated premiere for everyone that loves it, and it did not fail at delivering true awesomeness. There were explosions, cannibalism, babies crying, and obviously zombies. Carol was the real hero here. She blew up Terminus and helped everyone escape. In the end, they were trying to find a place to stay and forgetting that terrible place with delicious food. And our song of the month is Giants by Bare Hands. This is a fun party song for jumping, dancing, and jamming in your car. And this has been Jasmine Pop Topics. Have a great November.
Hey everybody, it's me, Kean, here with my friend Graham as my cameraman. Indeed. Today we are checking out some blacksmithing with Aiden.
Aiden doesn't use a regular setup. In fact, it seems less than so. So for today, we will be using a makeshift forge consisting of a soup can and a blowtorch.
What do you use the play sand for?
You mix the sand and the Paris of plaster and you get a fireproof coating you put on the inside.
Oh, that's cool. So the can don't catch fire?
Yeah.
If you didn't know already, a forge, or forging, is a process of heating, bending, and hammering metal through extreme heat. And the forge itself is supposed to help us achieve that heat.
Here we have the magical Aiden making a fireproof coating.
You don't really need to go over dramatic. Whole bag.
What if it catches on fire anyways? You kind of just screwed yourself.
Well, I don't think it will. Well, it's really just keep the can from melting. There we go. Do it? Yeah, I'm drying it.
Recording.
What is supposed to happen when we put the sword in progress into the forge, it will start to heat up closer to the melting point of steel, which happens to be about 1,510 degrees Celsius or 2,750 degrees Fahrenheit. So the heating point we need should be about 1,500 degrees Fahrenheit or close to.
Alright everybody, since we're on the lack of safety eyeglasses, I'm just going to put this on.
Tell me about Metal Gear.
You're looking amazing, Key. You're looking amazing.
After letting the piece of metal heat up for about 5 minutes, Aiden took the sword out and hammered away, shaping the metal to what he wanted. Even I gotta help smack away at it.
And the blades definitely turn really black.
Huh?
The blades definitely really turn really black. And I might be able to see it from the camera, but it's actually pitch black from what we see it. And you don't really see it like that because of the light.
This won't be the only time we will work with this metal, but next time we hope to have a little less of a makeshift workstation and a little bit of more a hardcore one.
Why is it okay? It was green for.
Action keys and lay the rough open. Okay. Right here. Go.
Today we're building the last wall for the house, and we're working on the header and studs that are already put in place for the wall system.
Okay, this is a real-life project for students to learn how to build a house. Today we're putting in headers and throwing up our fourth wall. After we're done with the fourth wall, the boys will then learn about cutting rafters and putting a roof on this building, and after that we'll put stairs in. So the whole project should take us about 3 months, and when they're done with that, they basically know how to build a house. The purpose of this is to train them for the apprenticeship program that they'll be involved in after they leave Lansdowne High School.
Board Game Club is where, basically, as much as it sounds, the teacher, Mr. Gish, brings in board games in order to help play with friends and whatnot. I think it's really fun. I definitely want to go here more times than anything, but I'd recommend it to everybody.
Yes, I definitely recommend people join because there's a lot of games here, and these games are definitely a lot more fun when you have more people. Just in general, more games are more fun the more people you have them. So I never recommend anyone who likes board games joining.
Yes, oh my god, it's so fun. Like, you can play all these different board games, and like they can either take up to 10 minutes or 15 or even an hour. So it can get really intense.
Well, that's all the time we have this month. Thanks for watching the Lansdowne Show. We'll see you next time. This is Jordan Santiago saying, I really like my beard. Don't shave it.